how do you generate the first client there? Is it...
Kick your friends in the knees.
Yeah?
No.
It'd be like, someone come here, please?
I already had a couple friends, or like mutual friends, that I was treating just because they had stuff that was going on.
Yep.
And because it kind of still is, but it really is starting as a bit of a side hustle. It might be, some weeks I would see like 4 people, some weeks I would see 1 or 0 or 8. So
Sure.
I think, especially in these early stages, and like Sydney is very expensive to live in, so it's not like there's a lot of cash flow to do advertising or whatever else. It really is, I feel like if I can nail that like word of mouth referral, then I'm also more likely to get people that are probably going to get along with me, but that I'm going to get along with them as well, coming into the clinic in the first place.
So with your social stuff, how did you go from being like in a physio space to a social, like where did you see the advantage, and what did it give you?
I am just like chronically online person anyway, so I think that helps Gen Z. But I would say a few years ago when I was like transitioning from the first clinic I worked at to the next one, that's when a few of us were like, oh, we'll make our, physio pages or whatever. For me, it's partly because there's a lot of good content, like learning-wise and all that kind of stuff on Instagram. But if I have that on my normal feed, I'm just going to scroll past. Like I don't have the attention span to like lock into that if I'm just doom scrolling. And then I think it also makes like a nice portfolio. So if you've got your clinic and then, the website and then your little like about thing, I think, again, at least people my age or my age adjacent, I also like to go to anything's Instagram and look at I don't know, the vibe basically. And I think it's even a good way to differentiate between, even if everyone at the same clinic overall has a similar vibe, the different personalities of people that work there and stuff like that. And it's almost like a portfolio to showcase what you do, the way that you work with people, the kind of people you like to work with.
And what separates you, right? Like from another clinic, because like, especially if you're looking at it as I see it as just like what you said, a vibe check. But like, does the clinic have a pulse? Like, what is it about that clinic versus the other clinic that's like literally next door to them or like down the road?
Yeah. Well, I think, again, it comes like potentially down to your ideal client as well. Like mine is people, again, probably in my like 20-year-ish like age bracket. So they're more likely to be on social media versus not. And then if I went to someone's Instagram page or like a company's Instagram page and there was nothing in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Why does this exist? Like you don't need to have one, but don't link it. It just makes me think that it's a bit dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, and even then it's interesting so I've had my own like, Jacinta Maxwell Physio page for a while. And then I've done for various workplaces, like the clinic page, which is even a different kind of experience thing, because it's a lot more my personality on mine and my more unfiltered thoughts maybe, or sometimes silly stuff, sometimes serious. And then when you're doing it for the brand, it's a bit more like, all the brands I've worked for are still like very fun to some extent, but it's just a bit more like structured, I guess.
Sure.
And so then when I started my own business, I was like, oh, do I just merge it into like one account? But I actually still wanted to have obviously my brand is still my personality, but I think that still needs to be like refined to some extent. And then my, I'm just being a physio page can be a bit more whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think like it's an access thing as well. Like if you do like, the levels of access that you can have. So if the clinic looks cool and then you're on it, then someone goes down and searches you, it just reaffirms the brand, but also vice versa. And I assume it's just a transfer of audience as an advantage too. But it's cool that you had it before starting your new business. So was that just for fun in your old clinic then, or was it actually serving you with like a client list, or was it something that the clinic expected you to do? Or you just do it for fun?
A bit of all of those. I think I was definitely the one trying to be like, come on everyone, let's do the social media. And then we would like collab the post. So, come up on the clinic page, but then, everyone's still got their own personality. So if you're trying to say, especially if you have a rehab where you need to be in it for the long haul, you kind of want to know that you're going to get along, or at least be compatible in some way with the person that's running you through that. So even like my partner is also a physio, very boring. And his brother is a EP and strength and conditioning coach. And
I wonder what you guys
we all
talk
have,
about.
yeah, that's why I have to be careful what I say because they will cancel me at the dinner table. But, you know, we all are on a similar page in general about our like ethos and the way that we like to do stuff. But it's still, if you look at our content and our personalities, it's still super different.
Yeah.
And there'd be people that are better suited to one versus the other.
Do you guys get in arguments then about cases?
Sometimes.
I reckon if my partner was a physio, we'd kick off every
Well, we
day,
used to work together.
Sure.
That's where we met.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So a shared love of conservative ACL rehab management, maybe.
Yes. But no, yeah, I think, yeah, in general the same, but it almost makes it more interesting, the arguments, because we're like almost on the same page, but we just have a slightly different perspective.
Oh, that's kind of refreshing and fun though. You're not just like, yes to everything.
Yeah, oh, that'd be boring.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
So how long did you work at your old clinic for before starting this new venture? Like, were you there for like a seasoned employee or?
Yeah, what did I do? Well, before, there's been a bit of overlap of different things. So right before I started JEM Physio, I was doing part-time women's health, which I still do, and then part-time at more of like a sports clinic.
Yep. So were you doing the women's health at a separate clinic?
Yeah, so they were separate.
Yeah.
That was for like overlapping bits of last year.
Yep.
Before that, I was at a clinic for about 18 months where I saw both, like, there was quite a few full-time physios there that saw both like MSK and women's health caseload. And then for 3 years before that, I was at somewhere that was mostly Musk, and then I started to have an interest in women's health, so I saw some things.
Yeah, right. Cool.
But nothing complex like I see now.
So how many clinics do you think you've worked in before you started this thing? Is that 5? 3 years on the first one.
3.
Then you split into 2 there on the next one.
So yeah, 4, and I still work at one of them.
Right, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have seen a whole bunch of different ways, I guess, clinics are run.
Yeah.
All in the same venue though, but obviously women's health is becoming your lane now to a certain degree.
Yeah, I think I get bored easily, so it's important for me to have different, like, you know, everyone has their stuff that they prefer treating, but I do need that variety. And even women's health, I do probably like 20 to 26 hours of that a week. I couldn't do any more.
Yeah.
It's just a lot mentally as well, usually.
Sure. Yeah.
Sometimes really fun, sometimes really heavy. And so I need almost like the MSK stuff, which also can be heavy sometimes, but to like balance it out.
Yeah.
And then same thing, I'd probably get bored if I only saw MSK stuff for 40 hours a week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need a bit of both.
In women's health, is there any like, I guess, you know, if I had a low back pain, generally there's a playbook I can give that I've done 1,000 times, got a set amount of exercises for a set diagnosis. Is women's health like that where you do get similar conditions that you can apply templates for? Is it very, like each case has to be really built from the ground up in terms of how you treat them? Because I'm honestly, know nothing about women's health physio. You know, it's something that's obviously everywhere, and becoming way more mainstream. But it's obviously I've done no PD on women's health.
Fresh-ish still, I would say. It's in theory, a lot of the principles can be like, you know, do this stuff, this stuff. I think, and then same with Musk. Like if you have a chronic low back pain patient, yes, there's a protocol, but the way you implement that, you know, you need to have that creativity and also like flexibility based on all of these different factors that make them a complex presentation. Same thing with women's health, especially with, you know, my interest area is pain. So that's people who, you know, have had pain for a lot of their life usually. Maybe they've been like trying to get a diagnosis even for years. So like lots of medical misogyny and like being gaslit. So you have all of that to work with.
The wandering uterus.
Yeah, on top of just like what their actual presentation is, which is complex enough.
Sure, yeah. So it does sound like a well now, and you said it's like fresh as in the research is really fresh. Do you feel like it's at a front line that you're pushing through in real time then? Or is it something that's quite established in a base of evidence and people just haven't brought it to light yet?
Probably both again. Like I think there's a couple of my women's health mentors who have been in the game a little bit longer, you know, like they're incredible. But really, and even being in this space for about 5 years, there's a big difference between like the last 2 years and then the 3 years before that in terms of, you know, how many pregnant women will just routinely come to see a women's health physio because that's something that is a good idea for them to do, or postpartum having their checks. You know, everyone knows that you go see your OB or your midwives and your GPs and you have all these like regimented checks. Only in the last, like 18 months to 2 years is women's health physio starting to like be accepted as, oh, this is something A, that exists, because a lot of people don't even know, and then B, like this is kind of an integral part of the pathway, and can save people a lot of hassle if they know about it.
Do they get like if someone who is pregnant is going through like, I guess, a public system flow, do they get a stopping point at that point to say, hey, now would be an appropriate time to see physio, or does the public system have women's health physios? Like, is it exclusively private, and like you'd have to be, you know, savvy to then go, oh, this is something that I do need?
Some of the hospitals do have women's health physios, but they, at least as far as I'm aware, they're like so over capacity. You know, they probably can only see a client every 8 weeks, maybe at best, which if someone's got some like hectic stuff going on, that's not really enough.
Yeah.
So until they have better capacity, that's where, you know, the private side rolls in. And I think
it's kind of like public musk as well, right?
Basically, yeah. And then, you know, it can be a bit more down to either if people have like word of mouth recommendations, you know, their other pregnant friends, whatever. And we do have a fair few midwives who are like, you know, especially if they're talking about stuff that's, you know, whatever their symptoms are, say, oh, probably a good idea to go see women's health physio. And some of the hospitals will have a list of, you know, here's like 5 different places you can go. It's, evolving quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of the cool thing about physio in general, is that it's like, it does have an evolution part. It's not something that's like ingrained in a particular thing that's just repeated, and then this theory is applied to stuff. It's like, no, the theory changes and it moves.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've always been really, like, that's why, like, I guess I stay in physio, is that it does change. And again, when you talk about getting bored, 100%. But also it does feel like you're like for me, it feels like physio can be in a new space in some of these avenues.
Yeah.
So at what point were you getting to the point where you went, you know, I just want to do my own thing then? What were you seeing something that wasn't being done? Were you sick of having a boss? Like, how did it kind of go? Was it more of a business decision, or was it more of a physio decision?
I guess it got a few times in my career, there's been a point of, I don't know if I can do this. Not like, I love being a physio, but can I actually be a physio with the constraints of like, you know, either being an employee where, yes, ethics and all of that jazz, but like they have a business to run, versus what I like truly think that patients deserve and need and all that kind of stuff. And then I think because I've worked in a few different places of either, you know, different sizes and with different patient demographics, I've seen a lot of stuff that I do like, and then a lot of stuff that I don't like as much. And that, again, like I never would have thought I would be running my own business or trying to, but I just got to a point where I thought, I don't know if I'm even going to be a physio anymore. This isn't really working out. Just see if I can figure something out myself.
Sure. See
if the way that I feel like things should happen, or, you know, at least for the way that I work, you know, see if that actually turns into something.
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
So not necessarily just like how you work, but also like how you want to work physio. And so were the molds that were set up for how you approach patients, the constraints you had to treat under and practice under, they weren't suiting your ethos?
Yeah.
It's really powerful when you think about it, because it's like, and you've been at 4 different clinics.
Yeah.
What about the ethos? Like, is there something that you can drill down on that's like, look, this is a line for me now? And like, it obviously comes with experience, right? Because there's no way you know that a year or 2 out.
Yeah.
So you've obviously gone through different clinics, seen different things, had a world of perspective, I guess, and gone, bugger this, I'll just go do my own thing and do it the way that I think it should be done. Really, really cool. Is there anything you could put a label to for those things?
Stats.
Stats?
No, they need to happen for a reason, because they do give important information. But I think when you have
like patient visit per averages,
and stuff, and like they're important, especially when you can, and places I've been where they exist, but it's used as like a tool for conversation. So is there a pattern in, you know, it can indicate like where a practitioner is either performing or not, or if there's like a gap in your care, that's good, that's what they should be for. But if there's kind of these regimented, like you should see people like 5 times in 2 weeks, like for everyone, like that.
Or you're a better physio if you do this stat, when it's not necessarily reflective of when every case can be completely different.
So different. And I just think not only is each case different, not everyone needs that, and some people do, and then not everyone has either like the finances or the time or whatever else to do that, and not everyone, like not all clients even want to, even if it's what's best for them, they don't want to. And I think obviously our job is to demonstrate or educate on what is the best option and why, and the evidence to support that. But then also, you know, work if what they want is something, then work backwards with them to figure out where it's going to actually be sustainable. So gold standard, but if they're not going to do that, I'd rather them do something that's close to that rather than nothing at all.
Absolutely. How would you grade a physio's ability? If you could pick like stats, like right, they're good. You need some sort of metric to be able to scale the performance of a physio, because a bad physio is harmful, right, to a certain degree. We need something that would sit in that space.
Yeah.
I've always thought that maybe it's like a patient feedback number. Like, let's say that there's a standardized thing that goes out that you can send to patients, and like, hey, if your feedback comes back as this, here's an extra $100 a week, rather than it being like, hey, if you make $10,000 a fortnight, you get an extra $100 a week.
Yeah, and I think it, you know, maybe to some extent it can be both. I think if you play the long game, then if you meet people where they're at, you might see them a bit less initially, but the people that I've done that with have either followed me to wherever I've gone and will come back whenever they need to, and usually they'll come back sooner than what they might if they didn't have that connection with a physio first, because they can, you know, message or email, hey, is this just like a flare-up I need to ride out for a day or two, or should I come in, get on top of it? And then they, you know, they stay with you for years. And I think
and not
that
abusing
is like
that trust either,
the good
right?
stuff.
Like not even when they do message you, like, yes, you got to come see me, they come in, you're like, oh no, you didn't need to be. It's like the walking that line. Stickiness, I think is the word. Sticky patients. How do you quantify that then? It's like how, like, even putting that into a metric itself. But like I heard that term with a bunch of physio coaches, and that customer coming back rather than how many times you see them for that case. Yeah. Long-term views. So you've carried this kind of ethos into your new business. Tell us about the new business. Like where it is, what it's called, how it runs, the whole shebang.
So it's called JEM Physio, which is just my initials.
JEM.
JEM.
JEM. What's your middle name?
Emily.
Oh, cool.
So, because I can just be a sole trader. It kind of works, but I can be a sole trader. It's like my name, but it's not Jacinta Maxwell Physio. That's kind of boring.
Sure.
It is mostly MSK, I guess, like focus, but I think when you do a mixed caseload like women's health and MSK, the women's health, anytime you see like women or, you know, people who are assigned female at birth, like that knowledge always comes in regardless. So, you know, I don't advertise that I do women's health with JEM Physio because I have enough of that elsewhere, but it's just part of the lens now with any.
So you would apply to a lower limb case anyway? Like
potentially, like if there's something not adding up, especially if it's like hippie or backy, if something's not adding up, I will have that avenue to kind of dig down if I need to. My kind of like spiel is that it's you-centered physio. So everyone likes to say that they're, you know, patient-centric and whatever, but like that's actually my goal. And that, I guess, where I challenge myself is that it's not necessarily what I think is going to be best, but always working with the patient to see what is going to be best for them. So for some people it is seeing you twice a week for however long, because they need that, they've told you they want that guidance and that's what they need to like get to their goal. For other people it's, you know, setting up a program and then they just touch base with you every 8 weeks, and if they're like, you know, tracking along, then they're tracking along and they're happy. So you know, not having a one-size-fits-all approach, but actually like really sticking to that rather than just saying it. And so that's a big part of all the conversations I have with new clients. And treating the person, not just the problem. Sure. Because that's super different.
Yeah. And how do you convey that in an initial appointment? Is it something that you try to give off with the social media stuff as a vibe when someone's coming through, or through like your website and the booking flow? Like, how do you construct that in a digestible way that's, you know?
I think because it's early days as well, almost everyone that I'm seeing is some kind of word of mouth referral. So whether it's a friend or someone that I've treated before, so already if they're being recommended or like referred to come see me, they probably know the vibe already. I think long term, I would love that, my social media presence, my like 2 followers, but my social media presence kind of shows what you can probably expect when you come to a session as well. And also just the like, not only the tone throughout the whole session, but I'll pretty much always start with like what brings you in, because it keeps it super open-ended, and also what do you want to get out of today's session, and then what do you want to get out of being here overall. And I think opening that up gives a lot of information about not just why you think that they're there or what could be best for them, but what they actually want and need.
Sure. And how do you structure, I guess, your day-to-day then? What are your appointment times, for example?
Again, early days, so I have currently a lot of flexibility because I'm not doing that many days.
Sure.
But we'll see what happens with that, to be honest.
Yeah, okay, cool.
At my other work, where it's like where I'm an employee, I do 2 days of like mid-morning to like later at night, and then a early morning to midday. So you kind of can fit most people into that.
Sure, yeah. With, I guess, when you decide, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start it, how do you generate the first client there? Is it...
Kick your friends in the knees.
Yeah?
No.
And be like, someone come here, please?
I already had a couple friends, or like mutual friends, that I was treating just because they had stuff that was going on.
Yep.
And because it kind of still is, but it really is starting as a bit of a side hustle. It might be, some weeks I would see like 4 people, some weeks I would see 1 or 0 or 8. So
Sure.
I think, especially in these early stages, and like Sydney is very expensive to live in, so it's not like there's a lot of cash flow to do advertising or whatever else. It really is, I feel like if I can nail that like word of mouth referral, then I'm also more likely to get people that are probably going to get along with me, but that I'm going to get along with them as well, coming into the clinic in the first place.
Sure. And so you're looking to just space that out, and as soon as you're getting more patients, is your other one going to dip off, or you got a line where you're still just going to work both clinics no matter what?
We'll see how we go.
Yeah,
I think ideally I do like 50-50 for a little while at least, because I do love the women's health stuff, and you need probably a different environment to make that sustainable versus MSK. And also where I do women's health is more of an integrative health space, so we work alongside other practitioners like naturopaths and acupuncturists. So I guess for some people they would say that's a little bit left of field in terms of like what's normal, and I think that's really unique in that space. So that kind of like fills my cup in that way, and then I've got my other stuff to fill the cup this way.
Perfect balance.
Yeah.
Are you working in are you renting a room? What's the actual physical setup like?
So this has been fun. I literally, today is my first day in my new space.
Oh, how good.
Which is in a gym. Yeah. So the gym itself is a women's gym, but because classes aren't run during the day, I still can see all types of clients. So that will also be good in terms of finding clients that already are prioritizing their health, and they're active and they just want to keep moving basically. Before that, I did have to do a couple of weeks just at my apartment, which was great, but I was just treating friends.
Sure.
Before that, I hired a room in more of like a beauty wellness hair space, just because it was a convenient room. And there was no other physios there, so that was cool.
Being in a gym is the greatest thing in the world.
The best thing ever.
Right. I think that like the trend now with anyone who's starting a business, everyone I know in Canberra started their own, including the one that I'm working out of, is all run out of gyms. Whether it's a big commercial chain or even just an independent gym, the collaboration's like perfect.
You just have to be honest. Like even when I had my room only, that was just because that's what was available to me at that time. But if I were to ever, find my own space, for example, I would need to plan for that I could have some form of gym set up straight away. I just think there's not much you can do without it.
Absolutely. It's a full red flag for a clinic, like to walk into a physio clinic and not have a gym there. Yeah. It's just not an acceptable thing anymore. I think that you just honestly can't do it. No. I was working out of UC, out of the rooms there when I left my old work, and greatest deal ever, right? In terms of like the setup, the way that it was run, but it was a room in a small rehab gym. And the rehab gym, not too bad, but they use it for obviously like you remember the UC
I did
training
both
hub?
Of my placements there, like the Parkinson's one and then the
EP one
MSK
upstairs.
one.
Yeah. So the MSK and the Parkinson's are on that floor, and
floor,
above is the EP gym. And that's the one we use, but there's not even a squat rack, And so I'm like, this is great, but I'm like, I've got like a Muay Thai fighter who's got a fight in 3 months who has one of the hecticest training loads that I've ever seen. I was like, oh my God, like you got to have a gym nowadays. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense not to. But then it obviously comes with the infrastructure problems. Like how do you not rent that room? and then how many gyms are there, how many rooms can there be. So it really does seem like starting a clinic now, it's not the same as it was in 2010, 2012, where you could hire office space.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then grow it out that way. And I'm actually chatting to a friend. So do you know Matthew Tran? I think I mentioned him before.
Yes.
I thought he was in your year.
I feel like I
or
know the
around
name.
your time. But he's, I'm hopefully going to get him on an episode as well, but he is going through a similar thing, and they're going to do a bodybuilding style gym. He's going to work physio out of it, out of a room. But all the equipment's like very unique, right? But obviously it's heavy, and so they've got a floor above. They're on the second floor. They had to get like an engineer to come check out the whole floor, write a full engineering report about where things could go, what could be reinforced, what couldn't be reinforced, just to like put a weight machine there.
Yeah.
I'm like, mate, that's crazy. Like, and again, there's just nowhere else to do it, sort of thing. But yeah, the rent a room in a gym is the greatest thing at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's not even just the average gym. Like, you're in a commercial space, all the equipment's pretty.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
decent.
I'm even lucky the place I'm in is relatively new. It was something else before, and then it's been like updated basically.
Done
yeah, it's all brand new. All the equipment is brand new.
Yep.
It's beautiful. It smells nice. Like, it's crazy. It's so good.
Hell yeah. With your business then, I know that it seems very early days and you're just kind of rolling with it. Do you have a dream for it in 5 years? Is there something you, like, if it gets there, fantastic?
I was going to say just to be there.
Just to still be here.
Yeah, I'm not that good at setting long-term goals. I am a bit of a ride-the-wave person. But I think, I mean, even the thing that kind of led me to thinking, can I swear?
You can do what you want.
Okay, yeah, fuck it, I'm just going to do it, even though I'm probably not ready, is that women's health stuff aside, because that's quite different for me, but I just thought, okay, I've worked in small clinics, big clinics, you know, different, setups basically. Nothing's quite fit right long term. You know, I don't know if I can be a physio if there's nowhere that I feel like I can work out of sustainably.
Sure.
So I'll just see if I can do it myself.
So why didn't you think you were ready?
Because
What was it? Well,
I'm in my 20s with no money. No, and I also think you probably never think that you're ready. I do have friends that to varying degrees have their own business as well, and I do think you need that because it's different talking to those friends versus friends that work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Different types of stress and
absolutely
thoughts about things.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, just do it if it doesn't work out. So? Physios
typically don't go hungry. So, you know, the worst case scenario is probably not the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But I can imagine doing that it's still a big step no matter what. I think you've done it in the best way possible. And sometimes, like, at this state, the way the world is in a way that's suiting to your ethos is like everything. Because, like, it's not like you're starting it out of necessity or starting it in a position where you're like, look, if I don't hit these numbers, I'll go hungry. You've obviously got safety nets and stuff. And I guess that's really why physio can be really useful and maybe an undervalued skill is that you can split your weeks. You can have your foot in different pies, and that 5 year out, you know, line where everyone goes, what am I just going to see patients, like normal patients, run of the mill, work for somebody else kind of thing? Like, where am I going to go? What am I going to do?
Literally everyone I know gets that between like 3 and 5 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. I started a software company.
That's cool.
Insane.
It's very different.
Yeah, very fucking, it's something. Anyway, the idea of starting your own physio clinic, in 2026 would be daunting to me. Absolutely. Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about UC, because your friend, my mutual friend, mentioned that a certain, let's say, lecturer said you may not be necessarily, that physio may not be your thing, and I would like to, I don't necessarily need to bark on that, but I want to know why he said it.
Oh, good question.
We can name him, his name's Phil Newman. Do you know his parents used to live across the road from where my mum and dad grew up, and we're like on the same street now. And they were called the Newmans. And I see
that checks out.
His dad, he was out there mowing lawns and stuff, and then apparently they chatted and anyway, dumb story. But yeah, what happened?
This is where, again, probably why I've ended up doing my own thing. I have big ideas about things, and just have big ideas about things, and also a big sense of like right or wrong and justice and all that fun stuff. So I think, I don't know what it was like when you were at UC, but there was a big culture of, with the physio stuff, like, you know, you got to take it so seriously, like, you know, it's going to be all of these, you know, work hours, you need to quit your other job, you need to just like commit to this full time, plus do all of these hours of study, yada, yada. So many people fail, like that gives me the ick. Like, I hate that.
Was that when the Musk Clinic only took 4 people and it was like a 50% fail rate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it. See, this changed
just,
before I got there.
yeah,
I heard it
mental.
was awful.
Yeah, and that was my first placement, so that was great.
Oh, did you pass that?
I did pass it. Yep.
Mate,
so yeah,
I heard. Sorry. I heard that was such a brutal environment.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if
It's like they almost took themselves, like they thought that they were like, and this is talking about, you know, I loved my degree, where I went through, but I remember hearing stories about that. Like, who the fuck do you guys think you are? Like,
well, even the scoring system for placements, I forget what it was called, but like there was no consistency on the way that, like, I think it was like you could get from 0 to 4.
Still the same.
And then, yeah, what people would give it that place and what that was. And then I went to 4 other placements and would talk to whatever, like, supervisor I had with that. And they were like, oh, no, you're like all the way up here. Yeah. Just, no consistency. But I think it was a real culture of you must suffer, and that's just like part of it. And you'll be like, and then because we were told by everyone in the years above us that you have to suffer, then like we're going to make all the others suffer. And I think for whatever reason, my cohort year, some people were still like that, but in general, that was the year we kind of said like,
enough's enough.
Hate that. Yep. You know, we did a lot of, because we had that all pushed on us from the older or like more progressed cohorts, and then we would do mentoring with the cohorts below us and be like, guys, it's going to be all good. We're going to tell you that you have to do all this stuff, that you're probably going to fail, yada, yada, like chill out, basically, like it will be okay. And I think it is tricky when you have any kind of like practical degree or, you know, type of study, because yes, there do need to be metrics to like measure people on, same as when you're in the real world. But like, it was just like a mess, to be honest. And I thought, there's no consistency. Even like, I remember one of our first assessments, my friend got like knee osteoarthritis or something, and I got a bifurcate ligament sprain. What the hell is that? I've never seen one.
Chalk and cheese, like, hey? Yeah.
That was Phil.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think, what's the point in beating everyone else down? Like, we're all here. Sure. Let's just try and figure it out. And yeah, he said that in our first Musk unit, and I just passed. And then in the second Musk unit, I topped it.
Nice.
With the same amount of work. I don't know.
Consistency,
I don't know what it was.
Maybe
I got lucky.
Maybe you just got heaps good, and the same amount of work was actually just way better in the second time around. You knew what you were up against.
But well. Yeah,
Musk 1 is the, like, you know, the first hard unit, right?
Yeah, framework thing. But yeah, luckily I was 19 years old and really stubborn.
Yeah.
Here we are.
So he mentioned some things about that around that time at the end of Musk 1 or in the Musk Viva.
When we would do like feedback and stuff, he would just say like, you know, maybe you're not cut out to be a physio. And I was like, fuck off.
Do you reckon he did it on purpose to make you go, fuck off, I'm going to go?
I don't think so, because I could almost respect that if it was a bit of like...
Yeah, a push.
Yeah, but you need to have the mutual respect there, I think, if you're going to do that. Like, I reckon you can do a bit better than that type of thing. It was just... I don't know, I think there was a lot of negging, not only from him, just, again, the vibe up until our cohort seemed to be a lot of negging and like fear-mongering, which I don't like.
I remember hearing a story, I don't know if it might have been the year above yours then, that in that era, that there was a cohort where there was like a secular group who purposely told people outside that group like wrong answers when they were studying groups.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I heard that, I'm like, that's insane,
It's actually mental.
Like, you're all in the trenches.
It's already hard anyway.
Like, it's so hard to do.
We don't need to suffer more.
Yeah. I heard that story and I heard about the things that I did. Yeah. So my year, I think if you had to push to make my years better, thank you very much, because it definitely was not like that when I was there. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure now one of my good friends from uni is one of the like heads of one of the disciplines in physio now, and she is the best ever. So I know they'll be having a good time.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. 3 quick fire questions.
Okay.
Cool. Favorite movie?
Ooh. Parent Trap.
That's so left field. That's so good. All right, let's follow that up. Oh no, that is Parent Trap a Disney movie?
No, but it had I don't even know. Mind blank. It's with the twins.
Yeah, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Yeah.
That's that one.
No, Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay
That's the one. Thank you.
Lindsay Lohan.
Well, twins. It's just her, but they make it twins.
Lindsay Lohan. If you could be pro at any sport, what would it be?
Probably something like soccer because they make a lot of money.
Yeah, 100%.
Literally in the trenches. So
you know you can make more money being like golfer.
My brother is actually a golfer.
No way.
And it is rough.
Pro golfer?
Yeah, because you can win a lot of money, but you also then don't make money when you're like traveling, registering to play in the competitions, doing all the play out rounds.
Does he ever have to buy a beer, or does everyone just worship him? Because for me, professional golfers are like god tier people.
Everyone loves it. Yeah, they get around it a lot.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's weird because with a sport like that, you're really good friends with everyone that you like travel with because you all go to the same sorts of things all around Australia. But then that's also your competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar in snow sports. Like in snow sports, because they travel and they all know each other. How many days on the road is he? Like how many?
Oh, I wouldn't even know. It depends.
Do you see him?
No.
Yeah.
We don't live in the same state anyway, but
yeah,
he could be in Queensland and then he'll like go over to Perth and then he'll like be back for a bit and then he'll go to wherever.
Very cool. If you could pick another allied health profession besides physio, what would it be?
I was going to say a boring answer, which is EP, only because I feel like they're becoming one and the same. But I work with some really cool occupational therapists.
Oh.
And I just think that no one knows what they do, and therefore it'd be a really cool job.
I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what they do in a hospital sense. In a private sense, I assume it's similar, but yeah, I honestly don't know them.
Yeah.
Have you worked in a clinic with them?
Not super directly.
Yeah.
But yeah, had to like refer out and work like multidisciplinary team stuff.
Sick. Well, thanks so much for the chat. We'll get everyone to go check out JEM Physio. Is that the tag?
That's
JEM
it.
Physio, JEM?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Go check that out, and I guess the moral of the story is to start your own clinic.
Yeah. And
follow the ethos.
That's it.
Yeah.
I post pictures of my dog on my work Instagram, so.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a Spoodle.
Okay. That will dictate who comes and who doesn't.
Yeah. All my stuff with the most views is when it's just him in it.
What's a Spoodle?
Cocker Spaniel Poodle.
Oh, sure.
He is very cute.
What's his name?
Alfie.
How old is he?
Almost 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's this one here.
Ah, very nice. Cute. Yeah, okay. Alfie, the Spoodle on... JEM Physio is your personal one?
No, that's my work one, but I put him on there because everyone loves him.
All right, go check out Alfie, the Spoodle.
That's it.